Yes, you are welcome into the classroom, Gethzemane Leadership Academy. I'm taking a course on the church growth and ministry, or you can call it church and ministry growth. And the subject I'm taking today is the topic I'm talking on today is the church in a changing world. The church in a changing world. It has been said that when the change outside an organization is much more than the change inside the organization, then the end has come for that organization. When they change outside the organization is more than the change inside the organization, then the organization is gone. This statement is true for majority of our churches. The early churches that were founded in the 50s, in the 40s, in the 60s, in the 80s. Much changes have come upon the world and the church has been left behind. Therefore, in a world aflame, the voice of the church has sunk to a pathetic whisper simply because much changes have overtaken the world in which we are called to minister. The way they preach gospel in 1940s, 50s, 70s is not the way gospel is being preached today. For example, in the 80s, some people come to the marketplace in the village and they come with a film, a projector, everything. They project the film of Jesus Christ, they talk to us, and everybody will be listening, and everybody will be praying. You cannot do that again now. But the film you want to go and show in the marketplace is already on your phone. Then nobody has ever come across those films. So if you don't change and you see start going to marketplace to show that film that is on everybody's phone, think who will come and listen to you. Then you only hear someone in the church. But today someone is on everybody's phone. Different ministers, different interpretations. So if church fails to move forward, the church that failed to move forward will die and God will replace that church. Now let's go on. Facts of changes. Facts of changes. Let's open our Bible. I want you to open your Bible now to Psalm 102. The book of Psalm 102. And we are reading verses 25, 26, and 27. Of old, as thou laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thy hands. Verse 26. I'm coming. Verse 26. They shall perish, but thou shalt endure. Yeah, all of them shall wax old like a garment, as a vesture shall thou change them, and they shall be changed. Verse 27. But thou art the same, and thy years shall have no end. See that verse 26. And they shall be changed. That's the fact. Change means transformation. Change means turn around. Change means improvement. Change means modification. Change means growth. It is new. When we say change, you mean new and innovative ways of doing things. Change is breaking new grounds. Change is frontiers and forsaking traditions. Change is embracing new ideas and doing things in a creative and innovative way. Change can be personal or professional. It can happen to family, leadership, community, organizations, and nations. It happens daily. Change is the only certainty of life. The only thing that is certain in this life is change. The world is created to change and evolve. Okay, if you don't believe in change, what happened to you personally? After all, you were born as a baby, a 1-year-old baby that could not know the difference between right and left. And now you are riding a car. What happened to you? Why are you not seeing that baby 1 day old without growing? When you are growing, you grew to a certain level, 1 year old, 3 years old, 5 years old. You can now hold spoon. Later you get married. Later you are working. Later you have children. I mean, you are changing. Change means new life must take over from old methods. These are facts of life. Ideas, systems, and methods grow stale, and new ones must take over. Seasons, times, and kingdoms come and go, and new ones must come, must take over. The only certainty of life is that life changes. Things can never be the same, and we certainly never remain the same. So these are facts you need to understand about change. Then, number two, facts of a changing world. The world is changing, whether you like it or not. Stupendous changes have taken over the world. Changes that are not possible 40 years ago, changes that are not possible 50 years ago, are happening right now before our eyes. Today, views and perceptions of people have changed and are changing every day. Now, let's consider the following. One, today computers have taken over many jobs. If they tell you 50 years ago that you can be in your room and be listening to the sermon in your church about 30 miles away, will you believe that what is happening today? That if you put the gospel and put it on Facebook, on a platform, the whole world, about 260 million will be watching it. You say, lie, you can't put possible. What's happening today? Again, communication, phones, videos, TV, internet, emails, iPod, SMS, and Facebook, and websites have come in. You don't need to post letters again. Just send your email or your WhatsApp or different kind of social media. Your message will get to where they are going without even waiting for 20 days, 30 days before your letter gets to where they are going. Tracts are flying all over now, preaching the gospel, unlike before. Today we have cities. We have new, big, complex, metropolitan, and advanced cities than before. Buildings, houses, living conditions are becoming better than before. Okay, in the area of music and pictures, new ways people learn and share like never before. You can see that in your room now. and wax a record. And from that your room, send it to the whole world. Unlike those days, where you have to go and look for Deca that will listen to your music, that will tell you to come in 2 years' time, that all those things have gone. Leadership, authoritarian, despotic, and autocratic leaders have given way to democratic and real leadership. People can choose now who to follow, unlike before. Age. In this world, more youth and young people are now on ground than elderly people. Health. In the area of medical health, new grants in medicine, treatment, and cure. So many ways of treating people. You check your BP at home, unlike before, you have to get to medical health center. Jobs, many professions, many jobs are giving way to new jobs and job descriptions. Family, single parents, like divorce, separation, and new definition of family have increased significantly. You have more single parents now. Values, the values of honesty, respect, authority of parents, and absolute truth have been greatly eroded today. No respect again, no honesty. You can't just trust anybody. Parents are talking, and children are walking away from their parents. Travel, you can get to one end of the world in a matter of hours. These are facts about changing world. So, while some of these changes in the world are negative, majority are positive. And these positive ones have made the world more complex and more interesting. Now, number 3, the church response and reaction to changes in the world. How is the church reacting to changes in the world? How is the church responding to changes that we have already explained? The church has largely responded and reacted to these changes. While churches of 90s and churches of 2000s have changed in some ways, churches that were founded in 40s, in 30s, in 50s, in 60s, in 80s have largely been unmoved by these monumental changes. They still stick to their traditional way of doing things. Some section of the church have responded well by changing their systems, strategies, and methods, and they are reaching more. They are reaching to more people for Christ. Whereas other section of the church have reacted to change by holding on to their old, archaic, institutional, and outmodel ways of doing things. So some section of the church responded, some reacted. Now, number 4, what must never change in the church? Let us read Psalm 119. Psalm 119. There's nothing happening in the world that is not in the Bible. Psalm 119. Verse number 89. Verse 89. Forever, O Lord, thy word is settled in heaven. Settled. So many church changes what they should never change. And they refuse to change what they should obviously change. We need to study this area well. As a leader in the church, as a leader in the Christendom, whether you are in charge of the choir, in charge of the usher, in charge of the prayer warrior, in charge of the meeting of the church, this thing has to be noted. There are some things in the church that must change. There are some that must never change. Okay, these are what must never change in the church. 1, the truth word of God must never change. God's value of righteousness must never change. Value of character and integrity must never change. Nuclear family and home must never change. True discipleship and knowing the Lord must never change. True and balanced doctrine of the scriptures must never change. Value of work and contribution to others must never change. Value of love, tolerance, and helping others must never change. Value of simple, moderate, and exemplary lifestyle must never change. Spirituality and walking in the spirit must never change. Value of kingdom lifestyle and expansion must never change. These are timeless truths that must remain constant in our lives and in the church. The department you are in the church, they must never be innovated on the line. You don't innovate the true word of God. Don't give another meaning to it. We may declare them in a new way, with new words, with fresh emphasis, but they must remain constant and sacrosanct in the church. He may use so many English to pad them, but the meaning must still be the same and must be taught daily in the church. Number 4, the relationship between change and growth. The relationship between change and growth. In a changing world, the church cannot afford to remain unchanged. Methods, administration, institutional factors, strategies, systems, leaderships, outreach emphasis, programs, timing, services must change. Church that remain inflexible and impervious to these changes will surely be left out. So growth and relevance will be mortgaged when a church is rigid and unbending. Also, when your department in the church is rigid and unbending, there will not be growth. Here, these are relationships between change and growth. If there is a worthwhile change in the church, one, there will be progress, there will be vitality, there will be excitement, there will be creativity, there will be variety. What I mean by variety, new doors of new people to come into the church. There will be expansion, new territories, new people, and new impact. There will be sacrifice. People will give and work sacrificially. There will be excellence. There will be opitana. There will be potential. Potentials will be realized. So, to reach and win the world today, the church cannot do ministry like the days of our great grandfathers. We must know what to change and what not to change. Finally, growth, continuous growth means change and more changes. When you stop changing, then you stop growing. When you stop changing, then you stop impacting the world. Work on this, and it shall be well with you. This is the end.